Attention, everyone listening right now. Hide your kids, hide your wives. Turn off grandma's hearing aid because this podcast is not for everyone. There will be adult language and adult themes, and it just gets kind of bad. So listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for a podcast that takes you on a journey both audibly and literally.
If you're looking for a podcast that discusses the really weird relationship between Brenda and Billy on 6 Feet Under.
Ooh. A podcast that answers the question, which is better, brown rice or white rice?
It's white. I hate brown rice. A podcast that offers you an in-depth insight into the role Archie comics have played in my life.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's go there.
I mean, maybe this is the podcast for you.
It's still not. It's not the podcast for you. I'm Sara. That's Haley, and we are family.
Are we allowed to?
Nope. All right. Enough of this tomfoolery. Should we do some fan sets before we kind of dive into our crazy antics on this Sunday morning? I would love
to give some props to fan sets.
Would you?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hello. I have so much Seinfeld in my life right now.
Hello. Pardon me.
We'd like to take a hot minute to thank our friends at Fansets for being our wicked awesome sponsors. They are constantly putting out amazing products and pins, and they work hard to bring new stuff all the damn time. Just the other day, Dan was telling me about the new Wrath of Khan Delta pins, and I was like, I gotta see these bad boys. So they're great. And what else is great is you can use our special discount code at checkout, rewind in all caps, for a bitchin' 10% off. What do you think about that, Haley?
I think this. Fansets. Our pins have character, and we thank our friends at Fansets for being our sponsor.
Yeah.
Could you feel the punching as I was doing it?
I felt it in my tooth. My good tooth. My saber tooth.
You just have the one.
I just have the one.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. We're doing this so soon since our last one. Look at us go.
I know. Well,
making up for last time.
This is it. And why do we have so much time in between? I mean, I guess we both have lives and we have to work and stuff. And I watch a lot of true crime that takes up a lot of my time. But truly,
madly, deeply.
R.I.P. God, the original ghost. How are you?
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, I'm thinking Powder.
Oh God, that movie. That's a movie that exists. That's a movie that somebody somewhere still does not admit to the fact that they were the gaffer for that film.
Oh,
didn't you work on? No, I did not. I did not work on that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, loved it.
What's new and exciting?
Not a hell of a lot since the last time we chitty chatted. I mean, I had one of my friends from high school in town visiting. So
who was it? Lindley? Oh
yeah. So her, I, Paula, and our friend Laura, we were like the 4 musketeers in high school. We all got together and went to Ferris's, which was so good. Ferris's Oyster Bar.
That was the last time I saw her. And Paula, I think, is we went to Ferris's. Anyway, love.
Delicious.
Love that for you.
I had the seafood linguine. It was just absolutely decadent. I bought a bottle of Prosecco for the table like a boss because I knew I was going to have more than one glass, and I figured Lindley would join me. And also they were late, and I was just like, let's just do this right. So then we went after to that the Churchill. We got that big round table back away from everybody because it was like the only space for 4 people.
Nice.
There's that little corner spot, like, because it's just a long bar, right? And then in the back. So we sat there for a little while just because we were just having so much fun, just talking shit about like life and the fact that we're all still friends after all these years. I mean, we all
So
met in
nice.
like 93 when we
Yeah.
were grade 8, and it's just like
Love
crazy. So
that.
that was
Aw.
fun. And I finished the newest season of What We Do in the Shadows, and it was so good. And it was everything
Yeah.
I wanted it to be, with Donal Logue playing
Oh
himself.
my God, he was
Oh,
amazing.
so good. Um,
Painting.
oh my God. So good.
Nandor
Uh,
putting his whole hand into Colin Robinson's skull.
oh, Colin Robinson, my heart.
Colin Robinson.
Colin Robinson. And then I have some shocking news for you. And this spins off of what you already talked about earlier about Law and Order. You were watching Special Victims Unit and
Yeah.
whatever, and talking about organized crime. I'm enjoying organized crime more this season than I am SVU. Boom. I know.
Okay, you know
I
what?
was not expecting that to ever happen.
So I still haven't taken the time to catch up or even watch the first 10 episodes or whatever, but you know, I'm not surprised to hear you say that. One, Christopher Maloney, hello. Two, the SVU is like not really doing it for me this season.
It's been, yeah, just
It's
kind of
different.
It is different.
Like, did you watch the one on Thursday
I did.
with Carisi? He's the
Yeah.
DA now, and
Yeah.
like to bring them in just to like help his case out. And I just kind of thought like this isn't in line with old SVU.
And they gave the office a makeover, so now it's like some modern looking nice office. I'm like, no, I like the old bullpen, dirty
Totally.
old office. And like, yeah, I feel like it's been, I mean, this show's been on for like
Sanitized.
400 seasons. Like this is
I
the
know.
22nd season or whatever. So it's obviously you're gonna have like good seasons and bad seasons. And I feel like this is kind of just, I'll never stop watching. I love it.
Oh,
And I love
100%.
her. And I like that they're bringing
Yeah.
her and Maloney in back and forth. But when I've watched this, like I said, the first season of Organized was like whatever, but the second season has been really, really good, with him being undercover and him just taking it too far undercover. And like so good.
Ooh, cool. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll give it another shot. I thank you for being brave and telling me that.
Yeah. I was nervous. That's why I couldn't sleep last night.
I gotta tell her, but do
Explosive
I?
diarrhea. Just
Can't
so
keep
nervous.
things from me.
What about you? What's going on?
Well, you know, I'll do the obligatory work is slowly killing me comment. But other than that, I don't know about you. I have issues with practical purchases. Like I get mad when I have to buy things like Windex, paper towels. Like
Yeah.
I will go to Sephora and buy like another styling tool that I do not need.
Yeah.
Or like another brush that I don't need. No problem. Not a second thought. Food, drinks, all that kind of stuff, whatever. So I was like, I need batteries. I need two kinds of batteries. AA and AAA. Because my brother for Christmas, like 2 years ago, got me a Sega Genesis emulator. And it's got like the controllers, like they're wireless controllers.
Yeah.
It's got all my favorite games, and you can put the cartridges in too, because I still have like a bunch of cartridges. And so I'm going to set that up today now that I have the batteries for the controllers. It's only taken 2 years.
Oh my God.
But I'm super excited because like my muscle memory for Sonic 2, like I'll just rip through the whole thing. I've never actually finished the game. And because you can't save it, I remember like as a kid, like just leaving the TV, or the TV would be off, but the console would be on like overnight for days.
Yeah.
Just like, gotta get you, Robotnik. He's so brutal. Anyway, when I went grocery shopping today, there was like no one out. It was because it's kind of early. Like when I go grocery shopping, it's like 8:30, and about 350 birds shat on my car all at once, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I took my car to the car wash. And I can't remember if I told you, but in the summertime, last summer, I guess, I got stuck in the car wash.
Yes.
I did tell you, yeah.
You talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure I did, because it was a whole thing. Anyway, I did not get stuck this time, but I was just like, why do I keep coming back to this one? I'm so scared. Anyway, so that was fun. I have work for another week, and then I have a whole week off. We're going up to Tofino. It's going to be amazing. I'm bringing books. I'm so looking forward to some time off, and we'll probably rent wetsuits and go play in the water and just enjoy ourselves. I'm going to bring, I have
full bags of chips. I remember the last time this trip happened, there was multiple types of potato chips and
so many chips and like
charcuterie boards for days.
Wine. Yeah,
pasta.
This time it's I'm going to bring up a bottle of champagne and probably some lemon juice, because I just need to make sure that I have some. I saw Dune.
Oh,
yeah. So, okay, first of all, first time I went to the theater since COVID, and it was fine. And the trick to not having to wear a mask the whole time is just keep eating and drinking. So we both bought a bottle of wine in with us. Just had the paper straw slowly disintegrating in the neck of the bottle. Anyway, and popcorn. Oh my God, it was so good. Dune, holy shit. So I have not read the book. I have not seen the first movie, but it's epic. And so if you have the chance to see it in theater, do. The only downside was there were some parts we were the audience. It was kind of ghetto. And there were parts of the movie where there was whispering, and I'm I don't know what they're saying. I can't hear that. And so a lot of it was I don't know what's happening, but it was great. And it was part 1. And so there's going to be a part 2. Ugh. Anyway, it was
I don't know anything about it. I don't know if this is it's a mythical world, or it's the past, or it's the future, or if it's space.
It's a real-time documentary about a
guy named Dune.
Yeah.
Jason Dune. Dougie Dune.
Yeah. I won't tell you about it because I want you to see it for yourself also.
Well, just answer me this. Is there something to where it's it's like Lord of the Rings, there's other creatures and other things in that sense, or is it it's humans and it's just humans in a different universe or different time, or different
humans in a different universe, and it's a sci-fi movie, but they don't use AI or computers, and so it's kind of an interesting sort of industrial revolution type feeling where they don't have the kind of so they have flying ships and stuff, sort of, but
kind of like Mad Max.
Yeah,
make a comparison about it's humans, but it's different types of
and there's this substance called spice that is I don't know, people who take too much of it, their eyes go fancy and blue, and Zendaya was in it, and Timothy Chalamet, or whatever the hell his name is. I just know him from SNL.
Cool.
Anyway, it was so cool. I hope it comes to the IMAX here. I would love to see it. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I watched, again, one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know if you've seen it, and I know I've not talked about it, but it's called Chef, and it's John Favreau and John Leguizamo.
So
I love that movie.
I tried to watch it. Is also that chick from Modern Family in it?
Not a lot, but just as the...
I can't stand her, so I turned it off. But
it's a slow start, but it gets really good. Just watching them cook, and the food and the music and the
he went to culinary school for it or something, or he shadowed some chefs and stuff like that. So, and I love cooking, and I love cooking shows, so I'll give it a try. But
gotta be in the mood, gotta push through.
Yeah, you do. And I'm not a huge Jon Favreau fan. Sorry, Jon Favreau.
Listening, friend of the podcast. There's been some tons of Star Trek news out there that I haven't been paying attention to, and so I kind of did a little bit of a dig around on some of the websites out there to see if I could find anything good for you. So I got some updates.
Yeah.
For I found this stuff on treknews.net, Star Trek Prodigy is currently on TV right now. I don't know if you've watched anything or seen anything or heard about it. I watched the first episode and it was like it was fine. Like I'm not big on cartoons, especially if they're like kids cartoons, not like adult geared cartoons. So
except for Care Bears. Show. Care Bears is good.
Well, yeah, and like Gem and the Holograms and like 80s stuff I grew up with. But now as an adult, I'm just like, this isn't a show that was written for me. So I'm just like,
yeah, that's true.
But the animation is really neat. It's really cool to look at. And of course, seeing Janeway, she plays herself, but as a hologram. So like this plot line is like a bunch of like young alien kids kind of like steal a ship to get away from like a planet where they're like slaves, I think. If I'm picking up on what I watched, I didn't really pay much attention. But anyway, they take this ship out into space to escape, and then none of them know how to fly a ship. And so the hologram comes on, and it's Janeway, and she's like, "Oh, you must be cadets. I'm here to assist you with, as navigating the ship." And so it's her voice. Kate Mulgrew is back, and I know that Robert Beltran will be returning as Chakotay in cartoon form, and the guy from I can't remember his name in real life, but he was the crazy guy that on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, with the crazy dark hair.
Adrian Pimento.
Yeah, the one girl really liked him in the end.
Yeah, Adrian Pimento, but I don't know his real name.
Yeah, he's a voice on it. Yeah, so I know people are like really loving it, and I think that's great, but it's not something I'm going to follow. So I just, I hope it does well.
Nice.
I've seen, the first first 3 episodes of Discovery. I have one more I haven't watched yet, and it's awesome, but I'm really surprised they brought in Kermit and Miss Piggy as new characters. I thought that was a real left turn, so I'd be interested to see what people think about that. The first 4 episodes have names. Would you like to hear them? This was on treknews.net.
Yes.
Okay, episode 401, the Kobayashi Maru.
Oh.
Episode 402, Anomaly.
Ooh.
Episode 403, Choose to Live. Episode 404, All is Possible.
Ooh, that sounds optimistic.
Mm-hmm. The History Channel right now is premiering a new 10-part documentary series called The Center Seat, 55 Years of Star Trek. It's narrated by Gates McFadden. And I did a little search on my TV today to see if I could find it and record it. And I found it. So it's on History coming up. So I've got the first one recorded or set to record. So
I will also look for that. I'm so surprised that the History Channel is doing something actually related to something historical and not just like ghost hunters or like
paranormal nurse hospital survivors. Yeah. On trekmovie.com, I read that a Paramount theme park in China featuring a Star Trek themed area is moving forward. The Final Frontier. It's being built in China for a 2024 opening. So guess where we're going? 2025.
Yay!
We're gonna do it. I'm gonna start saving now. Previously, Strange New Worlds had only been confirmed for a 2022 release, but there's indications it's coming sooner rather than later. The second season of Picard is in February, so it's a good guess that the debut of the next Star Trek series would be around maybe May. And this also fits with the recent report that Paramount Plus has already ordered a second season of Strange New Worlds with a production start for February.
Okay,
I'm really excited. And then the new Paramount chief has confirmed there's plans for multiple Star Trek films, including an animated movie. So here we are, just like bring it on.
Yeah, right on.
So much happening.
God, I would kill for another TNG movie.
Yes. I can't wait for season 2 of Picard.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh my God. Freaking.
Cube's on Delancey's back.
Especially after watching Q-Who, and there it is. It's both of them. It's Guinan and it's Q.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to see in Picard the famous claw hands that they were doing to each other. It was so stupid.
The claw.
All right. Do you want to read the synopsis?
I do. I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you just do your thing.
Okay. Oh no. I love it already. Haley here to give you a fright because Sara wrote me a rhyme and stayed up all night. Today we are talking about season 2. Well, not the whole season, just the one titled Q-Who. You're a real Dr. Seuss. Just kidding. No rhyme. No way in hell will I do that again ever. Imagine you rhymed the whole. Ugh, don't.
That's what we did, me and Casey, for season 1 of Enterprise. We alternated and did a whole synopsis in rhyme. It was my idea, and I still feel bad. I think that Casey is suffering from a lot of just like, little PTSD from what I put on his shoulders.
Iambic pentameter. So here we are. Some woman, first of all, is ordering hot chocolate at work inappropriately, and then continues to womansplain to poor LaForge about her love for robots and how she says please and thank you to them. Like, get a room, am I right? She then splashes the drink all over the captain and inappropriately gropes him. This woman is a nightmare. Get her out of here. Thankfully, the episode is saved by the arrival of Q, the ultimate space bad boy. He's got Picard in a shuttle, and they are a long ways from home. Do you ever go for drinks after work with people who are super annoying, only to ditch their conversation when the bartender stares out the window? I have, and apparently so has Jordache. I mean, Geordi. And as quick as you can say Jordache jeans, Geordi ditches Guinan. That Troy broad alerts Hot Pants Riker that the captain is missing. I guess she sensed something? That's all the female characters do on this damn ship. Sense things. Like, what? We're all psychic witches who know the future? I mean, yes, but no one's supposed to know that. Anyway, Hot Pants Riker barks at Boy Wonder Wesley to calm the fuck down, and we'll find him. Everyone calm down. The captain is missing. Stay calm. This is not a drill. Oh my God, we're all going to die. Riker says, widen the area, and I bark at my TV. Name your sex tape. I'm yelling. Now Q is throwing a ball against the wall, and I'm wishing he were throwing me up against a wall in a nice, sexy way, to be clear. Guinan and Q engage in the game of rock, paper, scissors, claws, and then Hot Pants Riker storms in with micro brain, aka Worf. Growl for me, Worf. You know what? Yes, please. But Worf was asked to leave. The men continue to talk, and Guinan makes annoyed sounds, much like Sara is right now. Q snaps his fingers and what? 7,000 light years, just like that? Boom. Welcome to a weird, scary part of space, dudes. Then that thing happens, something we know well as women. We give great advice about safety and danger, and the man is still kind of feel compelled to explore. And then what happens? Borg. Fucking Borg.
Goddamn Borg.
Every time.
Every goddamn time.
Every time.
They sound Swedish.
Oh, love it. So the ship's security system has failed. A Borg just beamed over and there was no alarm that went off. It's walking around engineering like it owns the place. Picard to Worf to random dude. Someone stop this Borg. He's zapped and another takes his place, but this one has evolved. He seems pleased with himself about it too. Guinan explains that you can't reason with the Borg, and it makes me think, maybe the Borg and I have some things in common. Cute.
Can't be reasoned with.
Yeah, it's so true. Worf, played by Michael Dorn. It's also season 2 Worf, I gotta say, because the makeup, anyway, informs the big kids that the Borg has locked on and shields are weakening, much like my patients. Where's Dr. Pulaski? She's my favorite. Damn it. I actually did not notice that there were no doctors in this episode. Hot Pants Riker, they're carving us up like a roast, just like at my 14th birthday.
Jesus, Haley.
Picard touches Riker's hand, removes it, and then Q disappears and Picard is still touching Riker affectionately. Aw, busted. Then Geordi says the shields are fixed and that it had been nice for them to have clapped or cheered or something. Poor Geordi. On the Borg ship, Worf, Data, and Hot Pants Riker explore and talk about slots and how the Borg are in slots and each slot is specific and it's a total slot fest. So good.
They said the word slot so many times in a matter of a minute. Like, I couldn't believe I was like dying.
Stop.
Who wrote this episode?
A Borg? Then it's a baby fest in the nursery. Seriously, can we get some more detail? Where did these babies come from? All stolen? Like, I have questions. Q, posed like a male model, watches the captain flail about and says, just ask for help and admit you stink. The Borg are chasing, shields are draining. It's a real nail biter. Tori. Is that on purpose that you spelled it that way? Troy is arm crossed with no role, no tasks, no ability to help. My favorite character of all time, Dr. Pulaski, is still MIA. What the hell, Star Trek? And then, just like Sara, pressed against the glass outside of Sorpino's Pizzeria, the following words are shouted, I need you. And Q snaps those fingers, making me disrobe instantly. I mean, saving the ship and sending them home. And what I need is a goddamn drink and a cold shower. Something fun, because this episode is not that fun. Oh, wait, a board game. 3D chess. That's fun? Picard and Guinan socializing, bonding, flirting. They will be coming. You can bet on that. Just like at my 14th birthday. That's it. That's the episode. No Pulaski, no Cardassians, no musical numbers, no hamburger eating competition. Like Sara said, this is bullshit. Oh my God, girl. So good.
Well read.
Oh, what a
and
ride.
You did it exactly the way I knew you were going to do it when you're like, and then there's Q, the ultimate space bad boy. And I knew exactly how you're going to say it. And I could picture it when I wrote it. And I was like, she did it.
He is the ultimate space bad boy. What a hunk.
Total.
Oh.
Total.
Thoughts on the episode?
Okay. Point form. Pant farm.
Pant pant.
Point farm. 1, not bad. Kind of boring. 2, I did not like Gomez. 3, I liked seeing Chief O'Brien. 4, I liked that Q taught the crew and the captain actually a pretty valuable lesson at the end of the day. 5, the Borg are dope. I love the Borg.
Me too, man.
Yeah, okay. I just was like, I was really excited. Well, I wasn't really excited to watch the episode, but I was kind of like, oh, I haven't seen this one in a long time. And I knew that this was the Borg introductory one. But I was like, season 2, like, we'll see how it goes. So it wasn't Q at its best. There wasn't a lot of Q action, but I did like it. I think it's a must-watch episode for the history of the Borg and just kind of that lesson being taught of how, like, you know what, you guys are a little green, and kind of made me think of Archer a little bit.
Check yourself.
Yeah, just that keen, like, we have to get out there and do everything. It's like, maybe you should also, like,
Archer.
Yeah, like, just slow down a little bit. Like, there's some shit out there that's gonna mess you up.
Definitely. I loved this episode.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of it, I was like, this was the perfect episode. I said that out loud to no one in particular. Because it introduced the Borg and it had Q, and you're right, there wasn't enough Q, but I thought the only thing missing in this episode was the Riker maneuver. I also thought it was very stupid that the away team went to the cube despite knowing that the Borg are, like, super dangerous and at any time the collective could have murdered them.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. It had Guinan. You know what? Maybe it was the absence of Crusher and Pulaski that made me happy about it. I thought Gomez was totally useless. She didn't need to be in the episode at all. It offered nothing. But for a season 2 episode of TNG, quite good.
I think it's because it was so Picard centric. Like, it wasn't Data dancing around being an idiot, and it wasn't Troy
Wesley
with her,
was in it.
Horrible lines of, like, I sent something, like, just, you know, like, they just abused her character so bad. I feel like that in that series. So it was just like, it was the heavy hitters. It was Picard versus Q versus the Borg. Like, it's the trifecta. It's the perfect storm.
It was, I liked it a lot. What was I gonna say about season 2? Doesn't matter. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I
would love, because I don't remember much about Guinan, and this episode is a great introductory to her again, just like that little bit of depth behind who she is. And so when Q is kind of like, oh, Guinan, that's what you're calling yourself now. I just want to know more about her species and her life. Like, I think that'd be a really cool graphic novel or a side episode or like a little special, just a little bit about who she is and where she came from and what her story is.
Do you think that we'll learn anything more about her on Picard?
I don't think so, because I feel like if she's coming back, it'll only be for like an episode or two. And if Q is coming back too, I'm curious if they're going to have them together or if it's going to be like, because Picard's struggling so much with what happened to him with Locutus and what's been happening to the Borg in the future. So I wonder if she'll be like a confidant that he'll talk to, or if it'll be more than that. Like, I have no idea what to expect. I want to rewatch Picard season 1 again. I've already watched it twice. It's just so unbelievably good.
So good. I totally agree.
Oh, 7-9 was so good. Oh,
Hugh and like
Icheb and all the. Oh my god.
Oh,
Love it.
God, I love Star Trek so much.
It's so good. So let's do some fast facts.
Okay. I'll start off.
Yeah, that sounds great. We got a lot of them here. I didn't do any would you rather, so I'll have to think of something. Sometimes the best ones are on the fly.
Yeah. Like literally on a fly.
Yeah. On a balloon.
On a t-shirt on a balloon. The Borg were originally conceived as being a race of insects, as featured in the previous season of Star Trek Next Gen Conspiracy. Budget restrictions meant that the decision was made to go with cyborgs instead. Nevertheless, Q-Who still went $50,000 over budget. Well, they had to build that whole cube.
When they say, like, when I read that about like a race of insects, it made me think automatically of the bad guy in Galaxy Quest.
Oh.
Because it was like that exoskeleton and he had like the like scorpion type like extensions. And then the eye patch.
I'm Jason Bateman. I just thought about Enterprise and that quorum or whatever of species where isn't there an insect in that? Are you there yet?
I've only watched season 1.
Oh, okay. That's more about
I'm really holding back on going forward.
Well, fair enough. It's not my fave.
Eventually. The episode won 2 Emmy Awards for Outstanding Sound Mixing for a Drama Series and Outstanding Sound Editing for a Series. Well done.
I wonder what they were up against, because it was just like a regular old Star Trek episode to me, but fair enough. After Q kidnaps Picard, Picard reminds Q that he agreed to leave his ship alone. In Star Trek The Next Generation, Hide and Q, the agreement was that Q would leave humanity alone, not just the Enterprise. Q!
Come on, bud.
What you doing?
You troublemaker.
Don't do that.
Oh my God. Picard requested to be taken to Deck 9, crew quarters on the turbolift, yet his quarters are on Deck 8.
What an idiot.
God, Jesus.
Ooh, maybe he was going to visit someone for a booty call.
I wonder who.
No.
Gomez. He wanted to scold her for that coffee, hot chocolate incident.
When she's like touching all over him, I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, are your hands absorbent towels? Like, what are you?
Who orders hot chocolate during a work day? I'm coffee or tea I can get. But
yeah, maybe. And then also like the proximity of the replicator next to engineering, and you're not allowed to have food or drink in engineering. Why is it even there? Why was she in this episode? Anyway.
I think they wanted to make her... here. Why don't you read your next thing?
Oh, I will. It has been theorized by fans of the series that the character of the nervous and chatty ensign Sonia Gomez was an attempt to add another regular, or at least recurring character to the cast, possibly as a counterpart for Geordi, to riff off of when in engineering, or even as a possible love interest. However, she only appears in Star Trek Next Generation Samaritan. I can't read. Samaritan. Damn English language.
Samaritan Snare.
After this appearance. That's so weird that I totally blanked on how to say that.
Yeah, she felt like a female version of Barclay.
She did, and she offered nothing, whereas Barkley, I think, has just enough appearances and just the right amount of awkwardness that you're like, that's good enough. And it's not about her being a woman versus a man. It's just that it just felt very forced. So I'm glad that they didn't keep her on. I just don't think that, between Geordi and Data riff off each other all the time, I feel like that is a much better relationship.
I want to watch the last season of Voyager now, just because of the Barkley element and the redemption there of the character.
What?
Isn't that like one of the big things at the last season of Voyagers, when they're finally like able to set like subspace, they're touching base with like Starfleet? It's Barkley's one of the people who works with them to help them come home or something, because it was him and it was Tom Paris's dad, Admiral Paris, right? I haven't seen it in so long, but I think Barkley had a few episodes and he was like a big time helper and communicator, and I was like, that's such a great thing for the character.
Definitely. Oh God, what a Voyager is so good.
I haven't watched that show in a very long time. Like, I've started it, but I always find that I like it better when 7 of 9 joins in.
I remember everything's better when 7 of 9 joins in. I remember I was over at your place one day, and this is obviously like years and years and years ago. And you're like, you have to watch the first episode of Voyager. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm like a TNG fan till I die. And you're like, just watch this. And I was like so hooked because it was such a great pilot. Anyway,
such a cool concept of like,
such a great concept. That was another thing I thought about, like when Q was like, you're 7,000 light years away. Data, how long is it going to take us to get to the nearest substation? 2 years? Fucking Crimea River. Like Voyager, meanwhile, is in the back ass of the Delta Quadrant, 75 years
75 years away.
Yeah, I was like, 2 years? You're already like, just explore that area. Anyway.
Although Q-Who is set in 2365 and is the first appearance of the Borg in the Star Trek canon, I'm going to start that again. Although Q-Who is set in 2365 and is the first appearance of the Borg in the Star Trek canon, the writers of Star Trek Voyager 1995 seem to have gotten confused about chronological order. In that series, it appears that Starfleet had heard about them approximately 12 years before and had sent the Hansen family to investigate them. In 2354, they were assimilated, and their daughter, Annika, became the love of our lives, 7 of 9.
But I do Hansen. This is the wrong spelling.
That could be your great grandfathers, the Hansens.
Maybe. Remember also that was House's ringtone for his team.
Oh, yes, there's a show I'd like to rewatch.
Hell yes. I actually recently watched the episode in season 4 where Amber, is that her name? She's one of the doctors, and you can't fucking stand her. She was also in White Chicks. Yep. Wilson's love interest, and and she's on the bus, and then she wakes up and she realizes she's connected to all these machines. She's not going to make it, and I just was like, I remember watching that episode and just fucking bawling my eyes out, like, so epic. And then, yeah, you're right. Like, House is such a good series as well.
That show could never play on TV right now if you wrote that series now, just because of the way people have changed and the attitudes. Like, you could never get away with a character like that.
No, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
No comment. When the first Borg beams onto the Enterprise, Q begins describing it to Picard as neither a he or she, but then refers to the Borg as he and him.
It's like the Tarkazian razor beast all over again.
Yeah, no kidding.
Pick a pronoun,
God, pick one. Also, a couple things I was thinking of, and how could they possibly know where humanity's going with language and all that kind of stuff back in the 80s or whenever season 2 was, but like, the pronoun thing wouldn't be a thing in the future. Carve them up like a roast. I'm like, I just don't think that there's a future for beef in the world. I just had a steak the other day, fucking delicious. all day long I'm going to eat beef, but I just don't think it's like sustainable for the environment and shit. I just don't think it would be around. It's that phrase would also not be around. Anyway, that's the kind of shit I think about.
Those are the things that keep you up at night.
Sorry. Yeah.
I love it. When Ensign Gomez accidentally spills hot chocolate on Captain Picard, initially she hardly spills any liquid on his uniform. Most of the hot chocolate appears to spill on the floor and on her. Yet later, as Picard is walking down the hallway to the turbolift and encounters Q, almost the entire front of his uniform is soaked. There was not enough liquid spilled on him to make such a stain. We also see a larger stain on Gomez's uniform as Picard leaves and she turns towards Geordi.
Just basic. Though I understand, like, probably was spreading.
Absorption.
Yeah. Consistent with the character of Q's, John Delancey. Actor John Delancey. Love you. Where are you from? Canada. Where? BC. You're not allowed to talk.
Where?
Victoria.
What street?
I know. Oh my God. Here's my business. Remember we were going to have business cards? Who do you think we are? Sorry, let me start again. Consistent with the character of Q's, John Delancey, arrogance, the Starfleet uniform he gives himself has 4, who the fuck said buttons? They're pips. He gives himself, has 4 golden pips on the collar, which only captains are given. I love that fact. I know. Oh, he's such an asshole. It's amazing.
Yeah, sorry, Internet New Database, sometimes people say buttons. Get them out of there. They should be blocked from the website.
Yeah. you might have to cut that.
Yeah, just in case.
Sorry.
Womp womp. Contrary to popular belief, this is not the first utterance of the phrase "resistance is futile" in the Star Trek franchise. It was said 10 years earlier by Spock in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, 1979.
I wonder what the context was. I mean, I've seen all those movies. I don't remember, but
Spock. Which one's Spock? Can you imagine?
He's the one with the accent.
Oh, right.
Beam me up, Spocky.
Borg from Spork. I'm Spock from Rock.
When the second Borg appears to take over from the one Worf phasered, just before it bends over the body of its companion, a tear can be seen in the neck area of the skull cap. Like the actor's head and
single tear.
I love that. Also, just the graphics. Not that I could fucking do any better, but when they're trying to phase like
the squares, it's like a matrix.
I was like, do better, but like I can't do better.
It was like 87 or 88. Like it's fine.
I can't do it. I still don't understand how you can take a picture.
I know. I still don't understand phones. Like, I can't believe that we're talking to each other in different rooms.
Sure. Like no one's talking about it. We're on a video call. Remember The Simpsons a million years ago? Like they had, anyway, video calling in the future. No one seems to acknowledge that we're there now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They just want the next thing, like the flying cars or the holodecks.
Well, yeah.
When Picard enters the turbolift after Gomez spilled that fucking hot chocolate on him, the turbolift door marks that he's on deck 10, while the doors immediately to the right denote that his location is actually deck 36. Come on. Somebody wasn't working that day. Wake up, get yourself put down the hot chocolate, get a coffee, and get to work.
Which is it? Imagine getting off on deck 36 and thinking you're on deck 10, like you're heading to 10. I'm assuming it's on 10 forwards on 10, isn't it?
I thought 10.
I wish I still had my poster. Hey, wait. Hey, Google, what deck of the Enterprise is 10 forward on?
Sorry, I don't have any information about
bitch.
That, but I found something similar.
Fucking useless.
Forward located on the Starship Enterprise?
Yes.
On the website Christmas.com, they say, the 10 forward lounge on the Enterprise D was located on deck 10, front edge of the saucer.
It is on deck 10. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, we know what it's for. We don't need a whole history of.
Can you also get a tomato juice there? I don't actually know if you can. When Guinan touches the panel to bring up the image of the Borg cube on the screen in her office, she never actually touches the panel. She never touches the panel, but the screen comes on anyway. Yes.
When Q snaps his fingers to send the Enterprise back to Federation space, the Borg cube is notably absent. It's already gone. Oh my God. Would you see this or skip it? I think I know.
I think you know the answer, and that is a giant see it. I will literally watch this later again today, is how much I loved it. Like, I loved it. You?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Bill and Dan were both see it's on this one too. They liked it.
That's so rare for a season 2 episode, but
absolutely. Okay, so would you rather be a Borg?
Immediately, yes.
Or a Cardassian?
Oh. Hey, have you ever seen a Cardassian woman?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there was his little daughter when it was the Four Lights episode, and then there's a bunch in Enterprise. Yeah. Oh. I mean, in Discovery. I mean, Deep Space Nine. Fucking spell it out, Sarah. There's like so many shows.
What
Deep Space Nine.
Okay, so part of me likes the idea of being a Borg because I would have assimilated a bunch of like different technologies and stuff into my self to be able to just be like an awesome Borg. But another part is like, do I want to be part of the collective and not have my own thoughts? And or could I be like Hugh and start having my own thoughts? Hugh, not Q. But also then I would have friends all the time, which would be kind of cool. But also I'm an introvert, so I need to be alone sometimes. Cardassian.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Would you rather... I'm trying to... I can't think of anything today. It's all right. Next time.
Related. Would you rather have guacamole with lemon juice or lime juice?
Oh, lime juice. Every time.
Okay.
You just log off. Bye.
Oh, I'm going through a tunnel.
Going through a tunnel.
There's no
Someone
tunnels.
else is calling right now.
There's no tunnels on the island. Oh, you know what?
What a treat. This is fun.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
To guacamole with lemon.
Oh no, I've got my plan for this afternoon because there's a football game, so there's going to be some smoked salmon.
Delicious.
There's going to be some of those little like toothpick with like a piece of bocconcini, a tomato, and a piece of basil with a little drizzle of balsamic vinegar. And then there's a ring of kielbasa sausage in the fridge that we'll have to chop up, so we'll have a piece of that, and that'll be that. And then
who's playing?
It's the Seahawks playing, I want to say Green Bay.
Nice.
And I'm also, because I'm such a dork, I'm recording because at the same time on one of the other Sportsnet channel is one of the World Series poker tournaments starting at the Bellagio. And I want to watch part 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have it all recorded.
Just fast forward through the whole thing is what I would do.
Well, yeah, but it's on at the same time as the game, so I won't be able to watch. So I have to record it, and I'll watch it like tomorrow.
Oh my God. I'm embarrassed for you, but that's fine.
Well,
no problem.
It's what I like to do. And then tonight for dinner, we're having steamed mussels and a white wine sauce with a salad. Mm.
I'm having mussels tonight too.
What? Uncle Mussels?
Uncle Mussels something hour. Yeah, but I'm making just like a little bit of linguine. Mm-hmm. And that sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not going to be as good as yours because I've literally bought a box that's like put the bag in the boiling water, it's ready to go from Superstore because they were on sale, and I'm like, well, I'll try them. I see if it's any good. Like,
the ones that I have are, well, they're organic, sure, whatever. But they're frozen. They're already cooked. I've had them a million times. They're just in a bag. They're delicious, and I just like chop up some shallot and garlic and Roma tomatoes and then throw them in with a little bit of white wine. Oh shit, I don't have any white wine. Oh well.
What? You don't have white wine? I'm shocked.
I have red wine. That won't be good. I'll just use some chicken broth. That's fine. And so I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited for you.
Love that.
Love it. For you. Yeah, I got 2 more days off, then I'm back to work on Wednesday.
Oh God.
I've just been in like fucking like I forget what it's like to have a job. Like I have just been so it's great.
Anytime I go on vacation, I'm like, how does anyone work? There's no time.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. Let's see if I get any more letters with bloody fingerprints on them. Anywho.
Oh yeah, and then like it's that's the other thing that happened is that Brad's shop's now officially up and running, and I went in with Shannon and painted it and got it all cleaned up in the office. Yay. So they've had their first week and it went well.
I texted him after you told me that they had opened it, and I said, where is he? He's way down there. Huge congrats, yada yada. And I said, can't wait to take my car in to fix the fucking scrape along the side because I am a woman and I can't drive or recognize I hit a concrete pillar. And he goes, you're supposed to say the wall hit you.
Perfect.
Anyway, but yeah, like I know they're super like slammed, so I'll wait till the new year, but that's so exciting. And yeah, I look forward to seeing it and taking my car in for all the reasons. Do you think they can fix my rims? They're like scratched to shit. I probably just need new rims. Don't get a car with fucking racing tires, because the rims are flush with the tire, and so anytime you come up along a curb, it's just like. Do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Did you eat a lot of paint chips as a kid?
I once ate a. Don't say it. Stop. I ate a Kleenex I found in the garden once.
What?
I don't know. I remember I was like 5 and I was like, what?
Oh, God.
And also, why was there a Kleenex in the garden?
It blew out of some granny's pocket. All right, let's close this. I think this is a sign that we have to close this out.
Yikes.
You're going to help me close it out too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. It's so cheesy. Like it's not even a good segue.
Thank you for
joining us and listening and putting up with our bullshit. Remember, you can subscribe to Discovering. Oh, I copied and pasted this from the Discovering Trek board. You can subscribe to Rewind by searching for us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or by heading to trekgeeks.com and finding it all there. Or guess what? There's an app now. There's a Trek Geeks app. You go to the App Store, you can download an app.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, I already knew that. If you enjoy what we're doing here on Rewind, I'm spitting everywhere, and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network, please consider supporting us on Patreon. As a subscriber, you can get access to the unedited recordings of episodes. Believe me.
There's a little editing still, just in case.
As well as exclusive content and great subscriber rewards, like our annual supporters pins from Fansets and our exclusive Trek Geeks Podcast Network t-shirt, among other things. And if you would like to become a producer of Rewind or even get access to the raw audio for Rewind episodes, head on over to patreon.com/TrekGeeks for all the details. I want to see us on TikTok.
Just think of like all the different trendy songs and all those things and all those like people doing like the weird hand things where you answer questions, and I'm like, do we do that now? Is that a thing?
I don't understand
I don't get it.
I like
funny.
It though. I like
the dog ones.
Me too.
All right, that does it for us this week and our discussion of Q-Who. As for always, Q-Who? Q? Who's Q? Thank you so much to the folks at 5 Year Mission and to Bill and Dan for putting up with our antics, and to all of you for tuning in. And remember to leave us another goddamn voicemail, because that was awesome and I'm still thinking about it. Or drop a hello on Twitter. It's Trek Rewind. And tune in next time when we do Starship in a Bottle. Starship in a Bottle.
It's
Ship in a Bottle. I know, but I couldn't say it like ship in a... It just doesn't sound as good. I needed to get that extra...
The cops.
Ship in a Bottle. I think we're going to watch that. I don't know anything about that episode. I don't remember it. I just know you're excited, so I'm excited.
Yep.
And that'll come out probably early December. Maybe. Yeah, I'll figure it out. There's no rhyme or reason.
No, there really isn't. Oh, no. Good God.
All right. Haley Frequency's closed. To infinity.
And a Burley.
Still a thing after all this time.
It is good.
After all this time.
Girly.
Always.
Oh.
Rip.
Miss you.
Bye.
Bye.